What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and in this video I'm going to be telling you about the random library in Python. So without any further ado, let's begin. So what even is the random library? Well, the random library is a library that allows us to use random things in Python. Basically, it allows for random number generation and things like that. So it's very important in a lot of things because there's always a certain degree to randomness that you want, and so that makes it a very useful thing to know. And because this is a library, we are going to have to write import random, and this just means that random, it's not a built-in thing into Python. This is something that you're going to have to import and just know the functions that there are behind it. So in my opinion, the random library has four very useful functions that you want to know. So the first one is random.randint. And what this does is this gives you a random integer in the range a to b. So let's say, I want to simulate a dice. So I go from 0 to 6. And I can store this value in the variable dice. And then I can say print dice. So let's run this. And we see our first roll is 3. And if we do it again, we get 6. So basically this just randomly generates an integer in this interval. The next function that I think is very important for us to know is random dot random. So basically what this does is this gives you a random float in the interval 0 to 1. So let's try running this. And a float is basically a decimal point number. So you see, I ran random.random and it gives me this number. And basically, there's an infinite number of kind of values that you could get from this because of how big it is in comparison to random.randint, in which there's only a finite number of values because you are only including integers. So if I run this again, I get 0.064. So yeah, it's just this. And our next important function that you should know is very similar to this. This is random.uniform. And what this is basically random.random, our last one, except you decide what range you want the floats in between. So I can say I want it from 0 to 5. So if I run this, you see I get 3.56. Run it again, 4.01. So essentially what this does is it's basically the same as random.random, except it gives you a float in an interval, whereas random.random just gives you a float in the predetermined interval 0 to 1. And finally, the last important function is random.seed. And basically, what random.seed does is it kind of like fixes the random generator so that it gives the same sequence of numbers each time. Okay, so basically what we do is random.seed, and we can just put in any number in here. Let's say 1, and I'm just gonna change this to random.randint and make this a rather large interval, 0 to 200. So what this does is, if we run this, we're gonna get a value from this, and as long as the seed is still 1, we'll get the same value. But if we change the value of the seed, we're gonna get a different value. So let's run this. So you see, we get 34. We run this again, we get 34. We run this again, we get 34. But let's say I change the C to 7. We run this, we get 82. We run this, we get 82. Do it again, we get 82. So basically, it just sets a value that you're going to keep on getting from this function, and that value is only going to change if you either remove this or if you change the value that goes inside here. Okay, so that's basically it for this video, guys. This video is just an overview of a very important library in Python. So yeah, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.